Hi, welcome to the Daily's Double Talk. I'm Brianna Lai. We're here in the Communications Building at the University of Washington. And joining me is Casey Smith, former editor-in-chief of the Daily and current advertising manager. And we're here to talk about some recent awards that the Daily won. Casey, could you tell me a little bit more about them?
Yeah, so the Associated Collegiate Press and the College Media Advisory Conference was just held in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's kind of a big deal because the Associated Collegiate Press recognizes the top papers for their performance throughout the year. The reason the Associated Collegiate Press Awards are a bigger deal than, say, other conferences throughout the year is because they consider every single paper, even if you don't go to the conference. So this year we won 7 awards. It's the most that we've won in school history for the paper, including the Pacemaker Award, which is right here in front of me right now. The Pacemaker Award means that we are one of the 4 best newspapers in the country.
Okay, great. What are some of the other awards that you won? I understand that you actually won an award, so could you tell me a little bit about that one?
I did. I was nominated and won the award for Editorial and Opinion of the Year, which was interesting. I wasn't really expecting to win. I submitted 3 pieces at the end of last year having to do with a series that I wrote examining issues in the newsroom. And the piece that was highlighted was one that I specifically wrote about diversity in the newsroom. And in it I talked about what it was like to work as a white male in a diverse campus and dealing with feedback from the community about not being able to accurately represent them as a white male. At the time, it was simply just me explaining, why I love doing what I do in journalism and why I serve the community. So to be recognized on a national level, and for somebody to say, that was one of the strongest pieces of the year was definitely surprising.
Yeah, that's really neat. So obviously this is something that is really personally, it's a great achievement for you. But how do you think winning these awards affects our campus?
I think an important thing to remember, especially with the state of the news industry right now, is that the Daily won these awards in one of the toughest budget years in school history, and it's just a testament to the campus for what students can accomplish. I mean, we have a lot of talented students on campus that we get to hear about every day working at the paper. We were able to do things last year like create a campus sustainability fund. Student government did some great things with voter initiatives and getting students registered to vote. And so to be able to contribute, as a student working on the student paper, it's the student voice and say, look what we did as well. It's just an important message for everybody on the campus that it doesn't matter what your circumstances, what the finances are like. If you work hard and you believe in what you do, you can see real results.
Yeah, definitely. So for the other awards, what is the process behind submitting, certain stories? How exactly does that work? Which writers are eligible to submit for the competition? Is it, your editorial staff, or could you explain that a little bit more?
So yeah, they have a category for almost anything that you could think of. There's photo, design, writing, multimedia. We were lucky enough to take home 3 design awards, including a multimedia story of the year. I think a lot of people might remember a 5-part series that we did where we investigated in depth what the budget cuts really meant to the university. And 5 different writers wrote more than 500 inches of copy. 500 inches of copy, that would be like writing a 5-page essay for one of your classes. We planned this series for months, really extensively worked on it. Really at the end of the day, we looked at the series that we had, and we did all this work, and we wanted to make sure that it was contextualized and saved so that generations from now people could look back and see how our university dealt with this historic period of dealing with these budget cuts. So we just threw them up online, and we created a neat masthead for them, and kind of created a space where students could comment about them and where you could view all of the series in one piece together. And it was almost an afterthought, the original choice to put them up, and it was also an afterthought to submit them. We originally wanted to submit the stories individually for awards, and then our advisor recommended that we submit them as a series. And it got first place. It was exciting.
That's really neat. Yeah, I guess, do you have any future plans for what you're going to be submitting this year? How's that going to work? I think we're running out of time, but do you guys have any plans for?
Nobody who works in the newspaper does it for the awards. We're, of course, going to continue to submit so we can continue to, set the standard for what great journalism is, especially as a student newspaper. So, you're definitely going to see us submitting more pieces in the future.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for watching the Daily's Double Talk.